Some of the lessons I have learned, man, there's just so much. But I think what comes to mind immediately is that I am in great need of God daily, and that when I don't do and obey his word, that I am really doing a disadvantage to the gospel. So when I'm not doing what God has called me to do as a wife, as a woman of God, it's doing something to the message of the gospel, and that's hard.
Yeah.
Because that's not what I want to do and not what I want to be. So I need him daily. So one of the lessons that I've learned is really how much more I need him, now more than ever. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. A lesson learned for me is the less throughout the years I've adhered to what God says to do, the more I regret.
Yeah.
So disobedience and also not doing the things that God's called you to do in your marriage, you're only creating at the end, or not at the end, but years later, you're only creating more of a hill called regret. You're making it big.
Right.
You don't want it to weigh on you later on. You're regretting things that you did and things you can't take back or whatever. There's some things I wish I would have done differently.
Oh yeah. And I think everyone can say that.
Yeah.
And if your husband, you're wondering, how do I love my wife? I don't know how to do that. God tells you how to do that. He tells you to consider others above yourselves. And he literally gives us the answers. It's just dying to self and walking in that. Wives, it's difficult. How do I submit without feeling like a doormat? How do I submit and still feel like I'm significant enough? One of the things that we talked about recently is we were going through the book of the chapters of 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Genesis. And I remember, and we were discussing this, I remember thinking, even though I am a helpmate, he still gave, it says he gave Adam and Eve dominion over, not just Adam. So they were both supposed to take care of, creation. Of course, it was Adam's responsibility, but, as we were reading, I'm like, okay, I do have a significant role. And so God teaches us how to do that. How it's lived out practically, that's hard. So that's when others coming in to walk alongside of you, that's when it's important to have those kinds of people in your life.
Oh yeah. There's a couple comments people are giving. Chris Vasquez says happy anniversary, Los and Lynette. What's up, bro? Long time no see. Gordon Swigart, happy anniversary, thanks for being transparent. Joshua Turo, happy anniversary. E.C. Holmes,
thank you so much, guys.
He says, I'm going to tell Jeannie she has to make my sandwich.
Whatever.
I'll let you know what happens if I'm still alive. That's what's up.
Chris Vasquez says, what I noticed with you guys when y'all first got married, I could tell at times when Lynette would be mad from the exact things she just talked about. LOL. But Lynette, you handled it with the most respectful way. And I know it was hard for you to not say something about Los to get up and get it yourself. I witnessed it. Through every marriage, there are always issues. I'm sure Los had some with you, but what I witnessed is both of you always put God first and seeked his guidance for everything. Your marriage is a blessing and a beautiful thing. Wow. Thank you so much, brother.
Man.
That's
man.
A great encouragement. Chris has been around for a very long time, so he's seen a lot. So we appreciate that comment.
Yeah, man. Definitely. So so lessons learned. And so getting into what the scriptures say, right? I think that's important. The famous Proverbs 18:22. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. And Yeah, so, an encouragement, and it talks about he who finds a wife.
Yeah.
And so men, I would encourage y'all who are single, don't be afraid to pursue. Mm-hmm. Be wise. Mm-hmm.
Seek counsel.
Right. So here we do see in the Proverbs that he who finds a wife finds a good thing. It's a good thing that you're looking, and if you found a wife, that's good. Because it speaks about the favor of God, over your life, but be wise also, don't, if you see flags,
run.
No, don't run, pray, and
I think they'll
counsel.
always see some flags,
And I think that's why the local church is important, under that hub of community to help you navigate through that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So yeah,
I think another, obviously we've talked about it throughout this podcast, but another why or the purpose of marriage, I think it almost makes me, humble, but yet, I don't know, my heart almost breaks at the reality that God would choose to institute marriage to display a part of who he is.
Right.
You look at the triune God who is three persons, but they're one. Yeah. And he says that we were, as a husband and wife, to be one. And then he displays his love for the church, and he says the husbands to do that for their wives. And so you just see God in marriage, and it almost is, I don't know, there's just something that just breaks my heart to think that, man, we're doing it, like he's asking us to steward our marriage so that others might see him. And that's that's hard. That's hard.
Yeah, and it's the truth.
It is.
Ephesians 5, we're going to get into that. But this is where we wrap up the audio for the podcast. Ephesians chapter 5, before we close, I think it's important to know, for wives to be submissive to their own husbands, and for husbands to love their wives as Christ loved the church, and that's really at the most fundamental, foundational piece of marriage, is that it's a reflection of the gospel.
It is.
And we have to be good stewards of the gospel. And so as couples, we have to understand, first and foremost, before the man is a pastor, before the woman is the pastor's wife, before we're ministers, before we're anything, we are as a married couple supposed to display the gospel. As a married couple. What
a humbling reality.
Right.
So what are you looking forward to in the next couple years? Here we are at 20 years, and we're almost empty nesters, and I know we don't have that much time left on here. So what's up for the next 20 years?
Yeah.
If the Lord doesn't come early, which I pray he does.
Yeah. Let me think about this. I think what I look forward to is to see what next journey the Lord is going to have us in. We planted Christ Alone in March, and the Lord is already at work and doing dope stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just to see how we both can minister and help others as a couple. Because he's always bringing us new faces and new people, so that's what I look forward to. And as we grow older, and we'll grow wiser, to see what gems we'll have then that we don't have now, to give to people. So I'm looking forward to how the Lord is going to use us still, in spite of us. But use us still. And that way we'll have more years to look back on. And I think more gifts and gems to give to people. You know? So I look forward to that.
Yeah, I look forward to, so stages of life bring different stresses, and, as our kids are older, things will be different for us. So, the struggles that we had when we had children at home, they're not going to be there, but we'll have different ones. And so I'm looking forward to being a better wife and a helpmate to you. I'm really looking forward to, being able to display that better. I'm not going to say well, but better to those who God entrusts us with. I just want to display the gospel better.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we've fumbled so many times within our 20 years, and we'll fumble again.
Right.
But it'll be a different kind of fumble.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to.
That's good.